Hey everybody, I'm Pastor Rory Butler and I'm coming to you from Jakarta, Indonesia today. I'd like to share with you about what I call the new gospel. The new gospel is something that Paul refers to in the book of Galatians in the first chapter, verses 6 through 9, when he warns the Galatian believers about people that had come to them and they preached another gospel. Paul said that they'd actually been preaching the same sort of a message, but they twisted elements of it so that it was no longer even the gospel. And Paul went on to say, if anybody preaches such a gospel to you, whether it be angels from heaven, whether it be me, myself, or anybody else, let them be accursed. He uses really strong language against people that would take the essential elements of Christianity, the essential elements of the New Testament gospel, and change it to suit their own interest, and then propagate that as the very truth of God. And in our day, we are shockingly seeing the spread of the new gospel everywhere. In fact, it's to the point where oftentimes we don't even realize what's being preached to us, what's coming to us through the television, what's coming to us through the internet, what's coming to us through many Christian books is in fact a different gospel. Very similar to what Paul was talking about, although the nature has changed. You see, when Paul was talking about another gospel, he was talking about the gospel of legalism. But what we've seen is a reaction to legalism that's gone to another extreme, to a point where you could almost call it lawlessness, or antinomianism is actually the technically correct word for it. So when we talk about this new gospel, the heart of it is really self-fulfillment and self-realization. It goes something like this. You come to Christ, believe in Him, and you get your best life now. If we were going to put a motto to the new gospel, I would call it the best life now gospel. Because it basically just tells you, you come to Christ and you can have it your way. You could almost call it the Burger King gospel. You know, you come to Him and then you give Him your order and then you get what you want. And it's really what it's done is it's kind of twisted the essential nature of Christianity to being about me, to being about my wants, my interests, my desires, my plans, my dreams. In fact, the new gospel basically tells you, you believe in Christ and He'll fulfill your dreams. He'll bless you in your work. He'll bless you in your family. He'll bless you in every area of life. He'll be with you wherever you go. He'll help you to accomplish your goals and your dreams. And it sounds really good. That's why a lot of people believe it. And it sounds like Christianity. That's why a lot of us also have been so influenced by it. But what I want to tell you is, although it sounds like Christianity, and although it sounds like the gospel, it's actually not at all. In fact, it's the exact opposite. You say, well, what's the problem? Doesn't God want to bless us? Doesn't God want to bless our family? Doesn't God want to do all these things for us? Yes, but the way of going about it is completely different, and the nature of it is completely different than what the new gospel is preaching. So I want us to look at the gospel, Matthew chapter 16, verse 24, where Jesus said to His disciples, if anyone wants to come to me, he must deny himself, take up his cross, and follow me. For whoever wants to save his life will lose it, but whoever loses his life because of me will find it. You see, the true gospel is not about coming and getting. The true gospel is about coming and dying. In the words of Dietrich Bonhoeffer, he said, when Christ calls a man, He bids him to come and die. And what I want to say is the new gospel leaves that out completely. But that's the gospel that's been handed down from generation to generation. In fact, more than 50 years ago, A.W. Tozer wrote about this. He called it the new cross. And he said these words. These are shocking words. He says, the new cross does not slay the sinner. It redirects him. It gears him into a cleaner and jollier way of living and saves his self-respect. The old cross is a symbol of death. God salvages the individual by liquidating him and then raising him again to newness of life. So what you see with the new gospel is you come and you just get, you come as you are and you get, and God just piles on top of you. It's almost like the new cross builds you up, whereas the old cross and the real cross and the true cross, it crucifies a man.